Alright, here's a little rundown of how the Delorean Lambda ECU works. I've got a little test setup set on the bench. This power supply is basically simulating the Lambda O2 sensor itself. Over here, multimeter is reading what the O2 sensor should be. About half a volt is right at stoichiometric. On the scope, the top line is what you would be seeing at the diag port on your dwell meter. Bottom line is what is actually going to the frequency valve. So when the fuel air ratio is right at 14.7, both of them are both right at 50-ish percent duty cycle. So now if I turn the voltage up on the pseudo lambda sensor, you can see what happens. The pulse gradually gets bigger, and if you turn it down below 5 volts, the pulse gradually gets smaller. So then try to get it centered back up at right at half a volt. It's not dead on. It'll chatter a little bit if I don't have it perfect. Okay, so now then you also have the full throttle and thermal switch in the mix, which is just this little jumper lead I have that'll ground out. I'll show you what that does. It just shortens the pulse a little bit, and that's just I was chattering a little bit, but it just holds it at a fixed pulse. So letting off now. So even if you're at a different setting, I'll widen that back up so it's a little above 5 volts. If you hit that full throttle switch, it takes it right down back to that fixed point again. And same thing goes if you're all the way the other way. Full throttle switch just pulls you right back to that fixed point. So hopefully that wasn't too hard to follow. But again, this is the faked out O2 sensor reading. This is what's actually going to the frequency valve, the buzzes, and then this is what you would actually see on your dwell meter when you're trying to get everything set up. So another key point here is when you vary the sensor input, there's really only 3 settings on these. There's the 50% setting, there's the gradual sweep higher, and then the gradual sweep lower. When I vary the voltage, it's doing that sweep on its own. It's not following my voltage input. Like if I pick any random voltage, it'll gradually make that sweep. For example, I turn it up now. Like, I'm not making it move like that. It's deciding on its own. Same way when I go down, like that sweep is not in line with my voltage change. My hand is off the knob right now. It's doing that sweep on its own. So really, there's only 4 settings on this thing. There's right at 50%. There's that gradual sweep all the way up, that gradual sweep all the way down. And then there's that throttle switch pulse right there. That's it. So just those four outputs really are all you're gonna see.